Dan Illman, Mike Beer taking a look at race number 6 at Gulfstream Park on Holy Bull Saturday. It's the Grade 3 Forward Gal Stakes for 3-year-old fillies traveling 7/8 of a mile. Let's take a peek at this field. Heavy favorite on the outside, the number 6, Tonalist Shape. 3 starts, 3 wins, including an overwhelming performance in a stake class timeout with an 89 Beyer speed figure. Mike, she runs back anything close to that 89. They're all running for second.
Yeah, she's been very good in all 3 of her races. Listen, she's facing a couple of horses who have some upside here, but this horse has been good every time we've seen her so far.
Let's take a look at the Timeform U.S. pace projector for this race. They've got the 6, the favorite, Tonalist Shape, in last, but it's not like she's some one-run closer that's going to be 10 lengths out. She's got some speed, some tactical speed at that, a nice outside post position. I think at worst, she's 4 lengths out of it while in a good spot.
I didn't think she'd be compromised by the pace. I don't expect her to be up there on the lead, but I don't think she's going to be compromised.
Let's take this field in post position order now, beginning with the 1, Nikki and Papa, first-time starter for the Luch folks. $70,000 yearling sold way up for $500,000 in March. She is by Mineshaft, 7% winners with first-time starters. The Dam won 4 sprints. The Dam's a half to a Grade 2 stakes winner on turf, named straight from Texas. This horse cross-entered a maiden race on Sunday. It looks like she might have some potential. I'd like to see her build slowly and run on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a good sign that they're, even thinking about running her here, but they should run her in the maiden race.
Number 2 is Compensate. This filly has won 2 races in a row, including her dirt debut, most recently at Aqueduct. We'll watch that race, and as you can see, the race is on a sealed, sloppy track. She's on the outside in the red cap taking the lead. Diving down towards the inside is Cruz and Dan's, and that's notable because Cruz and Dan's came back to win the Ruthless Stakes in New York with a 76 Beyer. Mike, it looks like Cruz and Dan's has got all the momentum down towards the inside. You got to give this Compensate credit for fending her off just at the wire.
Yeah, I agree with that. She looked beat here. It's like come down to the stripes, but she's going to get her head down and get a nice win here over a pretty decent 3-year-old filly. Listen, she ran well on turf, she ran well on synthetic, and she ran well on wet dirt last time. We'll see what happens on fast dirt. She has to get faster.
Number 3 is Fujairah. This horse is stakes placed on the turf. She returned to the dirt for her most recent outing at Gulfstream, and now winners of 1 other than. We'll take a look at that race right now. She showed good speed from the start, but she has already been passed by the winner, We Miss Suzy Fujairah, in second, clear second at this point. 56 Beyer speed figure's not going to get it done. I think she's more effective on the turf.
Yeah, this is a pretty big ask for this horse, especially now that it's not like they're just switching back to dirt for the first time here. She didn't have that last race. Maybe you could get a little interested in her at a big price, but off that last race, she's hard to like.
Although the 4 Street of Dreams was beaten in her career debut, I thought it was a very good sign that an Ian Wilkes-trained first-time starter, Wilkes rarely wins with those kind of horses, was bet down to 7-2 in a 12-horse field, and like many Wilkes first-time starters, fell back early, came with a good late run, and then improved second time out, showing much better early speed. I liked her most recent race. She beat a couple of minor next-out winners, but she showed speed from the get-go, and I thought it was a nice performance. I think she can build off that, and she's probably the most logical threat to the favorite.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, she just looks like she has a lot of upside. Her debut was pretty interesting because she actually broke well in that race, but they just didn't go with any speed. Now, the horse that won that race was really impressive, and this horse did well to be third in there, and they just got, she just showed way more speed last time. That was a nice performance from her. Cutting back to 7, I actually like that for her, too. There's a lot to like with this horse.
The 5's New Day Dawning. This is a gray filly by Medaglia d'Oro, recent maiden winner at Gulfstream. Let's watch that race right now. New Day Dawning's turning into the stretch. She's just broken this thing wide open. And it's a question about what kind of competition she was facing, but it's a rather professional performance. I think it's a little bit concerning that after 3 starts, Mike, she hasn't really gotten much faster. She's still in the 60s, but with this kind of pedigree, it's probably too early to simply say she can't get any better.
Yeah, she looked good winning that race last time. It didn't look like a 61 as she's crossing the wire with Irad taking his hands off the reins, but she was impressive winning. Her career debut was interesting too, Dan, because she didn't break that great in there. She had some spots of trouble early, and then she was in contention briefly, and then she wasn't at the end. She just sort of gave it up, but she looked a lot better winning last time. She's another horse headed the right way. Too slow to win right now, but there are some things to like about her.
And now the big favorite, the 6 Tonalist Shape, a perfect 3.43. Look how she destroyed this field in the Hut Hut Stakes, going a 1-turn mile back on November the 30th. She's taken over. She was just prompting the pace on the outside, and when she attacked on the turn, she took over. The jocks keeping her busy. This race was much faster than the Colt division of stakes races at Gulfstream, going a 1-turn mile. Listen, it's hard to knock anything this horse has done on the track. And Saffie Joseph's winning everything.
She's gotten better with every start so far, and she just keeps getting stronger in the stretch of her races. It's actually interesting that they're going to cut her back a furlong here, because she just keeps getting stronger as the stretch goes on. I don't think it's going to bother her cutting back to 7, Dan. She's run really, really well in all 3 of her races. She's very hard to beat in here, I think. She's
very hard to beat. We'll take a look at our top picks. Maybe the only knock you can have is that Hut Hut Stakes hasn't come back very strong. We haven't seen many of those horses come back and do some great things. She's way the horse to beat. I want to take a chance with this Wilkes horse. I liked what I saw second out with the improved speed at Churchill Downs. Maybe if Tonalist Shape has a bad day, Street of Dreams can take her down. That's basically our exacta box.
Yeah, I thought Street of Dreams was the most dangerous horse too. Ultimately, I've just decided I'm probably not going to bet against this favorite here. She just looks too good to me. But if I was, it would be with the 4.
We'll see what we get from the 6 Tonalist Shape. She's looking for her 4th consecutive victory in the Grade 3 Forward Gal Stakes, race 6 at Gulfstream on Saturday with an approximate post 2:34 Eastern. Good luck.